Hi everyone, welcome to China Digital Store. Today we will talk about Huawei P20. The P20 is, just like the Mate 10, a redesign rather than an iteration of the P10. That's one reason it's called the P20, and not the P11 rather than call it the P11. Huawei has decided to follow up the P10 with the P20. There are three phones in the range: a light version with a 5.8-inch screen, a standard version which looks almost identical, and a Pro model which is a little larger with a 6.1-inch display. It's that latter phone we're reviewing here, a beautiful looking device with triple rear cameras that deliver arguably the best photos from any phone currently available. In any case, it has rounder edges than its predecessor, but, more noticeably, a glass back. Without doubt it looks much better than the sandblasted aluminium of the P10, and comes in a range of colors including Twilight, which is a gradient from teal to a purple hue. In any case, it has rounder edges than its predecessor, but, more noticeably, a glass back. Without doubt it looks much better than the sandblasted aluminium of the P10, and comes in a range of colors including Twilight, which is a gradient from teal to a purple hue. Photos can't quite do the finish justice, but in the flesh it's another eye-catching design that will make people ask, what phone have you got? If you prefer, there's a black version, pink gold, or midnight blue. The cameras stick out a bit, but once you put on a case, that's no longer a problem. The only disadvantage of a case is that it hides that mirror finish, unless you go for a completely clear one. The other obvious feature that'll get people talking is that third lens on the back. It's the first phone to sport a trio of rear cameras, but it's slightly odd that one sits separate to the other two. Amazingly, one has a 40MP sensor, another has a 3x optical zoom lens, and a black and white camera completes the triplet. Around the front, there's a 6.1-inch screen which has a similar design to the iPhone X, as there's a camera and speaker and a notch at the top. It's a smaller intrusion than Apple's notch, and you can choose in the display options to hide it by putting a black strip across the top. The clock, battery level, and notification icons remain in place though, which maximizes screen space and is a good compromise. Surprisingly, Huawei decided not to make the bottom edge bezel-less, but instead cram a long, thin home button/fingerprint sensor there. It's great news for those who despise rear-mounted fingerprint sensors. There's IP67 water resistance, but all you'll find on the bottom edge is a USB-C port, not a standard headphone socket. With a resolution of 2244 by 1080, the 6.1-inch display is even wider than the Mate 10 Pro, with an aspect ratio of 18.79. Unlike the regular P20, the Pro gets an AMOLED screen. This offers more vibrant colors and a little more brightness. It isn't the brightest screen around, but certainly bright enough. There are more options than on the Mate 10 Pro. Like that phone, you can enable the always-on option, so the clock is displayed when the phone is asleep. But with the P20 Pro you can turn on a natural tone setting which changes the color temperature according to the ambient light, exactly like the True Tone display on an iPhone or iPad. You can also choose vivid or natural colors, and even adjust the screen's color temperature manually if you want to. There's the expected blue light reduction for nighttime use, but you can't schedule this according to sunset and sunrise times, which would have been nice. Overall, this is a fabulous screen with excellent contrast, great colors, and perfectly good pixel density. And unlike other old displays, think Pixel 2 XL, it doesn't suffer a noticeable blue tint when viewed off-axis. There is a slight tint as you tilt the phone, but that's true of every old screen, including the iPhone X. The P20 borrows the Kirin 970 processor from the Mate 10, but that's not really an issue since it's a very fast chip. On the P20 Pro, it's backed by 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of onboard storage. No surprise, then, that performance is essentially the same as the Mate 10 and P20, which use the same CPU, and all are very quick indeed.